At the mouth of the sewer pipe, you realise it's massive enough that even a giant could walk through without stooping. That gives you an idea. Hello everyone, my name's Elspeth, you're watching the Planeswalker Pantheon, and today we are opening up a draft booster box of Commander Legends, Dungeons & Dragons, Battle for Baldur's Gate, Commander Legends, or however you'd like to pronounce this set. It's Dungeons & Dragons, it's Baldur's Gate. I love D&D, and I'm so happy they decided to go back into this well again for Magic the Gathering. I enjoyed Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, if not for the cards that are brought into Magic, for the D&D lore. Anyways, enough chit-chat, let's get into this, shall we? Now, these packs are going to be a little bit different, as this is actually a draftable commander set. In this case, there will be 20 cards in the pack, and you will pick 2 if you are able to draft this set. Alright, so we'll just get rid of all of that. We have our little draft archetypes guide and how to build the decks, because this is a little bit different. Instead of it being just a 40 card limited deck, you are playing a 60 card commander. It ignores all of the duplicate rules of commander, so you can have more than one copy if you so would wish. So we'll go into our pack right here and we will begin. Alright, so we'll flick through the comments here. I mean, they've brought back so many things. So, there's all our commons. We'll flick through the uncommons as well. Backgrounds are pretty cool. And our first rare is Wild Blade of Frontiers. So for 1 and a red, you get a legendary creature, Human Warlock. If you roll 1 or more dice, instead roll that many, and that many dice plus 1 and ignore the lowest roll. Whenever you roll 1 or more dice, put a +1 counter on Wild Blade of Frontiers, choose a background. So in this set, there are a bunch of enchantments that are called backgrounds, which is basically the set's way of adding additional colours. We've also got an Elder Brain. So for 5 and 2 black, get a creature horror to 6/6 with menace. Whenever it attacks a player, exile all cards from that player's hand, then draw that many cards. When they draw that many cards, you may play lands and cast spells from among the exiled cards for as long as they remain exiled. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana as a mana of any colour to cast. And we have a foil Endless Gloomstalker and a soldier. Next on up. So we'll flick through commons, flick through uncommons, and our rare is Windshaper Planetar. So for 4 and a white, get a creature angel to 4/4 flash from flying. Once the battlefield, during the declare attacker step, for each attacking creature you may reselect which player or planeswalker that creature is attacking. We have a foil Far Trap, which is one of the backgrounds that I mentioned earlier. And we have a Night Token. Next on up. Alright. Alright, so there's all the commons, our uncommons. Sorry, it's a little bit weird. Oh, we've got a rare in the rulebook altar. It's Glorion Wise Mentor. So for green, white, and blue, get a legendary creature, Human Lizard, to 3/4 with vigilance. Whenever you cast an adventure spell, you may copy it and may choose new targets for the copy. Oh, and we have a Reflect Impulse. This is a very nice reprint back in. It's a land tap for 1 mana of any type that a land you control would produce. And we have the Initiative. So this is the new dungeon that was introduced. We're actually going into the Underdark. Next one up. Alright. Got our uncommons. Oh, we've actually got one of the Battleborn lands. So this is the Bountiful Promenade. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents, and you can tap out a green or a white. And we have another soldier token. Actually, that should be in a rare pile there. Next up. It's good to see that they're reprint these lands. I hope they eventually decide to put them in Commander decks, because, let's be real, they're getting a little on the expensive side. Alright, so we'll flick through all of these. We've got our uncommons. We have a Cultist of the Absolutes. This is actually a background. So for a single black, commander creatures you control only get +3/+3.5 flying, death touch, and ward pay 3 life. Then you give your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. We have Wiles Reversal, so for 2 more Radiant Instant, choose target spell or ability with 1 or more targets. Roll a d20, add the greatest power among creatures you control. 1 through 14, you may choose new targets for the spell or ability. 15 and more, you may choose new targets for that spell or ability, then copy it, you may choose new targets for the copy. And we have a foil and another initiative. Actually, we will do this one. Next up. Oh, Rulebook Lightning Bolt, always nice to see. Our uncommons. And our rare is Horn of Valhalla. So for 1 in the white, you get an artifact equipment. It has use Guard's Call. For X and 2 white, you get a sorcery. Create X 1/1 white creature tokens. And then equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control, and you can equip it for 3. And they reprinted the impetus and the squirrel. Why do they make squirrels? I know someone makes bunnies, but I have no idea what makes the squirrel tokens in this set. I don't know if you've seen the artwork for these cute little rabbits, but they are adorable. Look through the commons. Flick through the Swiftfoot Boots is always a nice reprint. We've got a Val Candlekeep Researcher in the old art. And our rare is Ascent from Avernus. So for X and triple white, you get a sorcery. Return all creature and planeswalker cards with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Exile Ascent from Avernus. And we've even got a foil Ascent from Avernus as well, which I won't read because we literally just opened it. I would have laughed if we had the Descent in the same pack, because I just think that would have been funny. Alright, next one up. Yeah, this set was fun to play. It was fun to play with, to be completely honest. I enjoyed it. Alright, so, I mean, as somebody who loves D&D as well as Magic, this is just one of the more fun sets. Ooh, Command Tower, always nice to have these more in the circulation. Meteor Golem, nice to see this back. Our uncommons. Oh, we have Duke Ulda Ravengard. So for 4 and a red or white, you get a legendary creature, Human Noble Soldier. It's a 5/5. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains haste and myriad until end of turn. Or we have White Plume Adventurer. So for 2 and a white, you get a creature or cleric. It's a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, you take the initiative, so you start delving through the Undercity. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, untap a creature you control. If you've completed a dungeon, untap all creatures you control instead. We have a Nimbleclaw Adept and a Soldier. Next one up. Alright. Flick through all of these. They brought back Adventures, which is perfect. Let's be real. For D&D. Got our uncommons. Oh, we have a Wrathful Red Dragon. So for 3 and 2 red, it's a 5/5. It's a creature dragon flying. When a dragon you control is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target that isn't a dragon. And we have a foil Run Away Together as well. Little Ithelred. And I'm assuming a half-elf based on that artwork. Alright. Skip through all of these commons. This set, I enjoyed it so much. I played a black-red deck with Gut, I think. Gate Colossus, had a nice little reprint from Ravnica. Geo Golem, always nice to see. Nurse's Phoenix. And rare is Baba Liga, Night Witch. So for 1 black and green, you get a legendary creature, human warlock. It's a 3/3. Tap sacrifice up to 3 permanents. If there are 3 more card types among the sacrifice permanents, each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life and you draw 3 cards. Oh, we have a mythic. We have the Battle Angels of Tyr. So for 2 and 2 white, you get a creature, Angel Knights, a 4/4, flying and mirrored. When they deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. If that player has more cards in hand than each other player, you then create a treasure token. If that player controls more lands than each other player, then you gain 3 life. If that player has more life than each player. So then you gain 3 life if that player has more life than each other player. That's a little bit of a twist, but hey, we've got a Javelin of Lightning and some treasure. Because of course, I mean, what's a little Dungeons and Dragons without a good treasure to find? Alright, so skip through. Oh, nice little, is that a Nature's Law? Yeah, nice Nature's Law reprint, always good to see that. That's getting up there as well, I think. Alright, we got our uncommons. Oh, we got the Monster Manual. So for 3 and a green, you get an artifact. It has adventure. So for 2 and a green, it's zoological study. It's a sorcery. Mill 5 cards and return a creature card milled this way into your hand. And for 1 and green and tap, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Alright. Next one up. Got the Faceless One. This is what you do if you can't find an actual commander to play. We still want to play. Got our uncommons right here. And our rare is Traverse the Outland. So for 4 and a green, you get a sorcery. Search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Put those cards onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. We have a full John Erecius, the Shattered One. So for 2, a blue and a black, you get a legendary creature, Elf Wizard. It's a 3/3. At the beginning of the end step, target opponent gains control of up to 1 target creature you control. Put 2+1/+1 counters on and tap it. It's goaded for the rest of the game, and gains this creature can't be sacrificed. Got a treasure token like that. That's actually a pretty interesting concept for a commander. You know, you gain control of the opponent gains control. You give your opponent your creatures, put 2 counters on it, have it tapped, but they can't attack you with them for the time being, at least until it gets to a 1-on-1 situation. But then you being in blue black, you'll probably have access to all the removal in the world. And our rare is Caves of Chaos Adventurer. So for 3 and a red, you get a creature, human barbarian. It's a 5/3 trample. When it enters the battlefield, you take the initiative. When it attacks, exile the top card of your library. If you've completed a dungeon, you may play that card this turn without paying its mana cost. Otherwise, you may play that card this turn. And our foil, and of course the initiative. Alright, next one up. Through. Of course, the diamonds are back and in a nice reprint as always. Rugs of Smothering, that's a classic D&D thing right there. And our rare, it's actually a mythic, it's the Pact Weapon. So if you guys play Warlocks, you know a lot about these. So for 3 and a black, you get an artifact equipment. As long as Pact Weapon is attached to a creature, you don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. Whenever a creature attacks, draw a card and reveal it. The creature gets +X until end of turn, and you lose X life, where X is that card's mana value. To equip it, you discard a card. Oh, we've got a skeleton for 1. Oh, these are what the skeleton tokens look like. I was actually making a lot of these during my pre-release, so it's nice to see what the skeletons look like. They look cool. Alright, next one up. Alright, so we'll skip right on through. It's nice to see some of the AFR cards get a reprint as well. Somewhat shifted rarities, I think, as well. Alright. We've got the Kingpin, Thrakus the Butcher, and it's a Morphic Pool. It's another one of the lands. Always good to get these. We have for a red, it's Wizards of Thay. So for 3 and a blue, get a creature human wizard. It's a 3/3 myriad. Instant sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and when you cast sorcery spells as though they had flash. Very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice. Alright, next one up. I just hope, now that we've sort of got the completed cycle, either they alternate, if they keep doing Commander Legends, they either alternate which set of sort of the Commander lands that they reprint, or if you don't want to do that, they just put all 10. Just have 10 slots. You know. Ooh, another old art frame there. And our rare is a Mirror of Life Trapping. So if it's an artifact, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, if it was cast, exile, then return all other permanents exiled with the Mirror of Life Trapping onto the battlefield under their owner's control. Actually, funny thing, I think in the D&D campaign that I'm playing, my character who was a rogue monk, but was a rogue when she first started, actually got caught in one of these. So it's nice to see that. We actually got an actual copy token that isn't just like an amorphous artwork. I mean, D&D does have changelings and people who shapeshift, so this is, of course, you know, the natural version of a copy token that should exist. Alright. Oh, breath weapons, classic. There's so much, like, just classic flavorings of D&D that you can see in here. If you're familiar with it. Oh, Mindstone. Always nice to have Mindstone reprints. Oh, we have Nine Fingers Keen. So, for 1 black, green, and blue, you get a legendary creature human rogue. 4/4 with menace, ward, pay 9 life. Whenever Nine Fingers Keen deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 9 cards of your library. You may put a gate card from among them onto the battlefield. Then, if you control 9 or more gates, put the rest into your hand. Otherwise, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. We also have a Mighty 7 of Luke. I think that's how you pronounce it. 3 mana for an artifact vehicle. It's a 6/6 to trample and it has Ward of discard a card. Whenever Mighty 7 of Luke becomes crewed for the first time each turn, if it was crewed by exactly 2 creatures, it gains. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw 2 cards until end of turn. And we have a Horderer. Ooh, 3/3 Demon. Very nice. Alright, next one up. We will skip through that. We've got a Moss Diamond in the rulebook artwork. And we've got Lulu. This is probably my favourite artwork in this set by far. It's not even close. Our background. We have Glunch the Bestower. So for 1 green and white, you get a legendary creature jellyfish. It's an 0/5 with flying. Beginning of your end step, choose a player. They put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature they control. Choose a second player to draw a card, then a third player to create 2 treasure tokens. Actually, no, forget what I said before. This is probably one of my favourite artworks. My favourite artwork in the set. It's the Owlbear Cub. So for 2 and a green, you get a creature, bird, bear. It's a 3/3. It has an ability keyword of Mama's Coming. Whenever Owlbear Cub attacks a player who controls 8 or more lands, look at the top 8 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield tapped and attacking that player. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That's probably... Okay, I lied. The Owlbear Cub's my favourite artwork in this set. It's almost not close. Alright. We will skip through all these. We have a Sigil of Mercure. Oh, sorry. We'll cut through these uncommon, sorry. Our background and our rare. Oh, I got the other cute artwork. It's the Displacer Kitten. So for 3 and a blue, you get a creature cat beast. It's a 2/2 with Avoidance. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Dawn being a cleric, and more initiative. Next on up. Alright. Honestly, I love this artwork for Runaway Together. Alright, so we have some uncommons here. Oh, we've got a full art ancient bronze dragon. So for 5 and 2 green, you get a creature elder dragon for 7/7. When deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. When you do, put X +1/+1 counters of up to each. Sorry, put X +1/+1 counters on each of up to 2 target creatures where X is the result. And we have Sailor's Bane. Oh, we've got an ox token. What makes oxes in this? Oh, this is why I love these commander sets. You look at some of these tokens and you're like, what creature makes this thing? I mean, hey, I'm not going to complain about an ancient bronze dragon. My deck, when I was playing it at the pre-release, had an ancient, the black dragon. I can't remember the name of it offhand. Alright, so commons, uncommons, and our rare is actually a mythic. It's Legion Loyalty. So for 6 and 2 white, you get an enchantment. Creatures you control have Myriad. And with 4 Thetis and a Pegasus. I just want a bunny. I'd like a bunny token. One little bunny. Just one little rabbit. Apparently those are pretty hard to find. From what I've been hearing online. Alright. Skip through all of these. And we've got our uncommons. Our background. We have Diana Invoker Adept. So for 1 blue, red, and white, you get a legendary creature human woods of 4/4 with haste. You may activate abilities of other creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. Tap when you activate an ability. You next activate an ability this turn by spending 4 or more mana to activate it. Copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. So it's kind of like a 1,000-year elixir on a creature. Oh, we've got a Sea of Clouds. More of these lands is always good. And we have a 4 mana gate and devil token. Second last pack. Alright. Let's end on a banger, shall we? We have Clad, some uncommons here. Emrys Gloomstalker in the rulebook artwork. Our rare is Noble Heritage. So for 1 white, get a legendary enchantment background. Commander creatures you own and have. When this creature enters the battlefield, at the beginning of each of your upkeep, each player may put 2+1/+1 counters on a creature they control. For each opponent who does, gain protection from that player until your next turn. We have an Asteron's Thirst. So for 3 and a black, an instant exile target creature. Put X +1/+1 counters on a commander creature you control. X is the power of the creature exiled this way, and a Beckoning Will of the Wisp and a copy. This will be the last pack. Alright. And our uncommons. Ooh, we have a Volo Ignorant Scholar. So for 2 double, you get a legendary creature human wizards, a 2/3. When Volo enters the battlefield, create Volo's Journal and a legendary colors artifact token with hexproof. And whenever you cast a creature spell, note one of its creature types that hasn't been noted for this artifact. 2 and tap, draw a card for each creature type noted for the target permanent you control, Volo's Journal, and choose a background. We have a Candlekeep Sage. We have a Barroom Brawl. Who doesn't love a good tavern fight, yeah? So for 1 green, you get a sorcery. Target creature you control fights target creature the opponent to your left controls. And that player may copy the spell and may choose new targets for the copy. And we have Explore the Underdark and our last token. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, favourite, and subscribe. It lets people know that we exist and we're making content. Anyways, you can follow me on Twitter. Links are down below. You can find us at the Planeswalker Pantheon on Facebook. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.